Imagine the finance team of Superfast Food Global is building a performance dashboard. And in this, they don't want the individual rows and they want exact numbers to display on the dashboard. For example, they want to know their store's total revenue and find the average order size and know how many customers they have. And we can achieve this using aggregate functions. Aggregate functions take many rows and return one number, and that one number tells the whole story of a use case. Now let us see some use cases for this and write queries to answer them. Here the scenario is we need to know how many customers visited the stores so far. So for this, we need to count the number of customers from the customers table. So first, let me get all the customers from the customers table. So select char from customers and I'll execute. So this fetches all the customers from the customers table, right? So here each row represents one customer. So we need to count the number of rows to know the total customer count. So the query is count of char from customers, and when I execute this, it gives the total number of rows from the customers table. That is the total number of customers. Now, if you see here, the column name says just count. So that is provided by the count function. So to give some meaningful name for this column in the result, I will use AS, that is alias in SQL. So this gives a temporary name. So I'll give count of customers and I'll execute this. If you see, this gives the temporary name to the column, and note that alias exist, that is only exist for the duration of that query. So it doesn't modify the original table columns. So here we have just given some meaningful name. Now the next scenario is we need to get the total revenue from all the completed orders. Here revenue means we need to know how much amount the Superfast Food Global got from each order. Here in the orders table, if you see, we have total amount column. So this denotes the amount that they received for each order. That is the amount spent by each customer on each order, right? So using this, we can calculate the revenue of all completed orders. So first, let's get the total amount column from orders table and filter by status equal to completed. So the query is select total amount from orders where status equal to completed. And I'll execute this. Now, if you see here, this gives the each order's total amount value. Now we need to sum up these values to get the total revenue. So to get the sum, I'll use sum of total amount and I'll just name it as total revenue. I'll execute this. You see, in the result, we got a single number. That is the total revenue the Superfast Food got from their completed orders. Now, the next scenario is we need to get the average, max, and min order value to understand the spending pattern. Here in the same query, we need three results, that is the average order value, max, and min, right? So for that, the query is select average of total amount, comma, max of total amount, comma, min of total amount from orders, and I'll execute this. Here, if you see, we got three results. Like one is the average order value, and the other one is the maximum one, and the minimum one. And we will also filter only the completed orders for this scenario to where status equal to completed, and this gives the completed orders average, max, and then min. Here we can use a function called round. You see here, we have many numbers after decimal, which is not readable. So we will use round function to reduce the numbers after decimal. So I'll give round of average of total amount. I'll reduce to two decimal, that is two numbers after decimal point, and I'll execute this. Now this is more readable, right?